we have a chunky patch for the PTB that is upcoming. Now, I promise you that some of this is going to be a little bit confusing at first. I have read through the patch notes, and when we read through them again in just a bit, I'll tell you guys my full thoughts, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is a very thick PTB, thicker than I ever expected. Some changes that I never saw coming. Some are good, some are very confusing, but we're going to get into it. But first, peep the new hat. It can do this for some reason. I have no idea why. Anyway, let's take a look. So, developer update March 2025, PTB 8.6.0 is coming in. We have mending actions is being updated. You now mend faster. Used to be 12 seconds for self-mending and 8 seconds for altruistic mending. Those are going down to 10 and 6 respectively. So mending will be less. As you can see, they are updating the Legion, who would have been most affected by this. Now, this is something that I'm glad the Legion is getting updates. We're going to go over those in just a second, but I don't think this was necessary. It says, we know Deep Wound can be a frustrating mechanic to come up against as it slows down the pace of the game for survivors. That's the point. The point is that it's a slowdown mechanic. Yes, it can be boring when you're playing Mending Simulator, but the answer is not to nerf mending. The answer is to buff Legion to give them a better chase. I just don't like this. I don't like this nerf to mending. The entire point was for it to be slowdown, and 2 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it definitely is. Now, the Legion is getting some buffs. Decreased fatigue time to 2.5 seconds was 3. That's whenever you come out of Frenzy, so you come out of it faster. Increased fatigue movement speed to 2.3 was 2.7. Feral Frenzy lasts for 11 seconds, used to be 10. Feral Frenzy's cooldown is now 15 seconds, used to be 20. Movement speed earned by hitting the Feral Frenzy is now 0.24, and then they adjusted several add-ons. Here's the thing. Feral Frenzy should be 6 meters a second base. Right now, Feral Frenzy is just too slow, and increasing the speed that you gain by 0.4 is not going to change as much as I would like it to. These buffs just simply are not enough to make Legion worthwhile. Legion's two biggest problems is, one, they are very limited in the perks that they get to use, and two, they are just simply too slow in their Feral Frenzy. So all of this, honestly, is cool, I guess. I can't wait to see Tat's thoughts on it. I'm sure he'll upload a video soon, but to be completely honest with you, this just isn't enough. It's not enough. It's not what Legion really needed. So yeah, I don't think this is going to change as much as they think it's going to change. Next up, we've got some nerfs to the Xenomorph. And some buffs. It's very interesting. I'm not really sure why the Xenomorph is getting changed. I always thought the Xenomorph was in a pretty decent spot, but apparently they're looking at trying to, apparently they're trying to look at getting rid of some frustrations for survivors. So they're increasing the tail attack charge time to 0.35 seconds, was 0.2, and they're increasing the charge sound volume, which means that you have more time and more warning to dodge the tail attack. Now, they're reducing the missed attack cooldown to 2.5 seconds, which it used to be 3, which is a buff. They're increasing the killer instinct range when exiting a tunnel to 16 meters. They're decreasing the time it takes to get out of a tunnel to 1.5. They're increasing the amount of fire needed to burn the Xenomorph to 175, used to be 100, which is a huge jump. They're increasing the delay before the Xenomorph's heat starts to dissipate to 15 seconds, was 1. Xenomorph's heat starts to dissipate. What does that mean? Oh, oh god damn, that's huge. That's fucking huge. They're talking about, so when you get burned as the Xenomorph, right? You get burned and that little meter goes up to show when you're about to exit crawler mode. That used to just start going down in 1 second. Now it's going to take 15 seconds for that to go. That's unnecessary. And then they increased the dissipation rate to 2 per second, was 25. Holy nerfs, Batman. Adjusted several add-ons to align with these changes. In its current state, Xenomorph's tail attack tends to be a little bit too difficult to dodge. With a short window between the wind-up, to give survivors more of a chance to anticipate and react to it, we've adjusted the charge time to make the wind-up louder. To balance this out, we've reduced the cooldown on misses so Xenomorph can keep the pressure up. We've also found that the turret impact can be inconsistent, providing huge value at high skill levels and being ineffective at lower levels. Rather than having the turrets act as an immediate threat that dissipates quickly, heat buildup will remain for longer. This should help a little bit. Oh god, dude. Honestly, I think they over-nerfed and didn't compensate enough. I think they over-nerfed and didn't compensate enough. I'm sorry, but this might drop Xenomorph down to B tier. I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, I don't really like this at all, man. I don't like that at all. Like, Xenomorph's still gonna be good, but... oh, man. Okay. Anyway, the good guy. Reduce Hidey-Ho mode cooldown to 12 seconds and reduce the time to reach max speed after Scamper. We know that the good guy's utility and mobility in chases has historically been one of his core draws. While recent changes made him less oppressive at lower MMR ranks, we've made some adjustments to help him get back into the action quicker and improve movement feel, particularly accelerating back up to speed after the animation ends. Interesting. I thought the good guy felt pretty good at 14 seconds, but I'm also not a Chucky player, so we'll see how this turns out. I think this is good, but I don't know. Terror radius adjustments. Hillbilly's terror radius is now 40 meters. Blight's terror radius is now 40 meters. Pig's terror radius is 24 meters. Yes. Ghostface terror radius is now 24 meters. Yes. Skull Merchant's terror radius is now 24 meters. Yes. We've adjusted killer terror radiuses to better fit with their intended playstyles. Killers with high mobility can zip across the map at high speeds, have had their radiuses increased to give survivors a greater chance to react to their approach. We've also reduced the radiuses for stealthy killers to better fit their playstyles. The Skull Merchant is a slight outlier here. While she can gain indetectable by deploying a drone, we felt she could benefit from added stealth support. So yes, I agree with all these changes. I think Hillbilly and Blight are both very powerful, very fast killers. 40 meters is perfectly fine in my opinion. I think these are perfectly reasonable nerfs. Even as a Hillbilly main, I agree. The buffs to Pig, Ghostface, and Skull Merchant are all very welcome. I like it. I like this change. New features, match surrender option. If one of the following conditions is met, the surrender option will become available on the match detail screen. So when you hit escape, or I don't know what consoles hit, but whatever brings up the screen with the offerings and the ping levels. When all remaining survivors are bots, the killer can surrender without a disconnection penalty. When no generator has been completed for 10 consecutive minutes, the killer can surrender without a disconnection penalty. Okay. When all other remaining survivors are bots, the survivor can surrender without a disconnection penalty. And when all survivors are in the dying state, the survivor can surrender without a disconnection penalty. Okay. We know it can be frustrating to find yourself in a scenario that's unwinnable when you would rather move on. To address these scenarios, as well as cases where the opposing side has been fully replaced by bots, we've added the match surrender option. We are currently targeting the most disruptive cases, but will continue to monitor player behavior to identify if there are further options. Nice. And for all you plot twisters out there, we see you. This will not trigger the surrender option. Let's go, baby. They knew it. They knew it. They knew it, baby. All right. Awesome. And then the Forsaken Boneyard. So the Eyrie of Cox is getting a new variant. Interesting enough, expanded the Forsaken Boneyard realm with a shack-focused map. Updated the existing map tiles to improve navigation. Interesting. This is some janky looking shit. Why? Look at this. More double pallets! More pallets! We don't know how to balance the map, so we're just gonna chuck pallets everywhere. God damn it. Oh, I wish Behavior would stop doing this shit! Look, Behavior, bro, I'm trying to give y'all the benefit of a doubt, but could you please stop tossing pallets everywhere as a form of balance? Pallets should be a limited resource that survivors have to think about how they're going to use them in order to survive. Consistently throwing pallets in every 2 feet is not balancing a map. It just makes it frustrating and unfun on the killer side, and it makes it brain dead on the survivor side. There is no reason to keep doing this. The game is at its most fun when survivors have to think and killers also have to think. If all you do is run from pallet to pallet, yes, it can extend chase times, but that's boring and uninteractive. There is a reason that nobody fucking likes Gideons. Anyway. We're expanding the Forsaken Boneyard map and map pool with a new map layout with the Killer Shack at its center featuring updated map tiles. Specifically, we've heard your feedback that the Eyrie of Crows can be difficult to navigate, at times thanks to collision with certain aesthetic elements. No one has said that. No one has said that. They've said that the collision on those bushes is really annoying. No one said it was difficult to navigate. It's a big square open map. We know where to go. We've opted to remove the large bunches of branches from the map tiles on the shack map, while also introducing double pallet tiles that will add exciting new looping possibilities. It's not exciting. It's not exciting. It's frustrating. It's frustrating and it's boring. Anyway, Survivor perk updates. Quick and Quiet. Decrease the cooldown to 15 seconds. I'm happy with that. I like that buff. Deception. Increase the time during which you leave scratch marks to 5 seconds. No scratch marks. The 5 seconds used to be 3. Decrease the cooldown to 15 seconds. Used to be 20. Okay, I'm down. I'm down. Good buff. Good buff. Dance with Me. Increase the time during which you leave no scratch marks to 5. Decrease the cooldown to 15. And then Red Herring, decrease the minimum generator repair to trigger this perk to 1 second, well, it used to be 3, and decrease the cooldown to 15. I'm going to be real with you, Chief. People still aren't going to use Red Herring. But hey, it's a good buff. It's a good buff. While these perks specialize in misdirecting the killer, we found that their cooldowns don't match their value. By reducing their cooldowns and increasing the duration of their effects, specifically Deception and Dance With Me, we hope to give these off-meta perks a better chance at value in deception-based builds. Honestly, I'm down. I think all of these are really, really good. Even though I rely on scratch marks to navigate because I'm deaf, I still think that some of these perks needed the change. This is a massive buff to Red Herring. People still aren't going to use it, but hey, I'm down. I'm down. Killer perks, Knockout. Change. When a survivor drops a pallet, if they move 6 meters away from it, within 6 seconds, they gain 5% hindered for 5 seconds. Okay. Completely shifted the effect. Knockout is a perk that's associated with slugging, leading to some particularly unfun game styles. We're looking to make changes to the perk while keeping it useful for killers. I mean, it's very useful. Don't get me wrong, it's extremely useful. I can already tell this is going to be paired with Zenshin Tactics. Nurse is going to get a lot of use out of this. Pyramid Head's going to get a lot of use out of this. Unknown might get use out of this. I don't know. Dracula is probably going to get use out of this. Basically, every anti-loop killer is going to get use out of this. Okay. I don't really know why. Why is it called Knockout? It doesn't. You could have just got rid of the aura reading limitation, and I think it would have been fine. Like, if you just made it to where, like, the survivor you knock down recovers slower and moves slower, it would have been fine. You could have just got rid of the aura reading and Knockout would have been a fine perk. I don't know that you needed to completely change its effect. That's a little bit overkill, but okay. Alien Instinct. Increase the aura reveal to 8 seconds, was 5. Increase the Oblivious duration to 60 seconds. What? Holy buff, Batman. Jesus. Okay. Hysteria. Increase the duration of Oblivious to 40 seconds and decrease the cooldown to 20. Okay. Deathbound. Shorten the range at which this perk activates to 4 meters. Sorry, that was a bad whistle. Let me try that again. Nemesis. Increase the aura reveal duration to 8 seconds, used to be 4. Similar to above, we've identified some killer perks that have been underperforming. Boasting lower pick and kill rates, we've adjusted their values to help increase their viability. So overall, L W, but I don't think it's going to be enough. L, W, W, W. I'm going to have to play on it to know, so I'm not going to say L or W for this yet. W, 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 W. I'm not going to say L, but I'm not going to say W either because, I mean, it's a great perk. It's a good perk. It's arguably more useful than Old Knockout, but it wasn't needed. W, 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 W. So mostly W's throughout this patch. Can't wait to try them on the PTB. That's coming out on March 11th. So really, really cool, really interesting. Also, the new killer is dropping on March 11th. So I can't wait to see who the new killer is. Obviously, they're not going to spoil it for us here, but I can't wait to see what the new killer is and what they work like. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Seriously, why does my hat do this?